In this battle of steel types, both Pokemon on paper should fully wall one another, although Magneton, not really known for its bulk, the opponent very rudely go for the acid spray. But the thing is, if you're going to use an attack-weighted Pokemon like Magneton, and a move like Zap Cannon, you can throw typing effectiveness out of the window. Welcome back to the channel. All 3 leagues are available, and that means one thing. I've been sat on a battle submission for a couple of weeks now, since the last time the Open Great League was here, and this battle submission is an absolute madness. A huge shout out to today's battle submitter Noah. This team is one of the most ridiculous teams I have ever seen. The first thing we're going to address is the elephant in the room. If you see a fighting type, it's probably GG's, and we're going to move swiftly on to the next battle as we are horribly weak to fighting type damage. The second thing we need to address is just how glassy this team is. Most triple shadow teams are pretty glassy, but the Pokemon with the most bulk and the lowest attack stat on the team is Armaldo. And his attack stat is pretty impressive if we're being brutally honest, far higher than Sneasler, Charizard and Typhlosion respectively. Armaldo's team partners today, Magneton and Ursaring, really do crack that elite top tier glass cannon status, both with attack stats above 140. I'll be honest, I have no idea how we're going to get any wins with this team, but I guess there's only one way to find out. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, Noah leads Shadow Magneton into Shadow Shiny Murkrow. Clearly the opponent got the memo. It is Glass Cannon time. The opponent saves switch into Galarian Weezing, which of course is by no means a good response either. Unless my eyes are deceiving me, the opponent running in not only double Shadows, but double Shinies too. Whilst Magneton is resisting the Fairy Wind damage, you can see the Fairy Winds don't look all that resisted. They are starting to add up, and we definitely cannot tank a Brutal Swing, despite it not getting same type attack bonus and only costing 35 energy. Noah looking to play out the 2 shield. If the opponent shield this up, we're either going to lose Magneton or be forced to catch out. Noah opts to catch out, catching onto Armaldo. Using it as the damage sponge, and ouch, that Brutal Swing did a lot. Murkrow re-enters the arena, but this Murkrow going to be straight in and straight out. Armaldo races to the Rock Blast, and that is a very easy one-hit KO. We find ourselves in a shieldless game. The opponent sends Weezing back into the arena, and they don't get too much farm either. We send Magneton back into the arena, but Magneton is going to get outpaced, and it's going to be Ursaring versus the world. Can we Shadow Claw farm down before the opponent reaches another charge move? The opponent recognizes they're going to get farmed down. Oh, that's a triple shiny Shadow team. Not like this, Noah. Not like this. Pinsir gets one shot vanquished back to its Pokeball. We're doubled up on Swifts, and the second Swift is going to be all she wrote. GG's to both trainers. What a cool team from our opponent too. Heading into the next battle. The good leads continue as Magneton stares down Fearow. The opponent saves switch into Torterra. That one singular mud slap that landed did like a third of our health. We counter swap in Armaldo. We're actually a rock type that only takes neutral from ground, as bug resist and rock of course takes super effective. With that in mind, Armaldo goes for the 1 shield, gets the full farm down and leaves it doubled up on Rock Blast. Back out comes Fearow. Fearow going to be greeted with the first Rock Blast, forcing the first protection of the game. We're doubled up and we look to throw back to back. Is the opponent going to go all in on Fearow? Yes, they are. The opponent able to peck farm down, but they're not quite at a move yet. Magneton re-enters the arena. Could have thrown the Magnet Bomb. It looks like Noah's opted to overfarm instead. We didn't actually sneak a Thundershock there, so it looks like we actually got 1 turn bring in, which is kind of brutal and something I haven't really got too much of this season. Undeterred, Noah fires off the Magnet Bomb, removing Fearow from the field of play. Out comes Greninja. If we had Discharge, this game would be over, but we don't. So we end up making the catch onto Ursaring. Ursaring tanks the Night Slash, not particularly well, but well enough to force Greninja into throwing again. Win cons for the opponent at this stage, pretty non-existent. Essentially, Noah having a heart attack or lagging out. Thankfully, neither occur. We reach the Zap Cannon. Is it necessary? Probably not. Going to be massive overkill. Picking up a massive one-hit KO as we take that game. Heading into the next battle. Oh my god, that is probably one of the worst leads we could possibly see. We're going to say switch into Ursaring. This big bear does have access to Trailblaze. Not that we're running it, but of course the opponent isn't going to know that unless they're using the Discord bot. Okay, let's not get into that subject today. The opponent fire off the Body Slam, obtain themselves a shield advantage before save switching into yet another Murkrow. Murkrow going to be greeted with the Swift. We look to throw the close combat, unfortunately losing CMP. Noah finds himself in such a tough position here. What do you do? We're going to let Ursaring go down as we can't afford to save our 2 glassy Shadows with no shields to hide behind. But the issue is we're going to have to shield up the incoming foul play or put it all on Armaldo. We do shield up the foul play. We are going to be able to get the full Thundershock farm down. I think our win con is landing a Zap Cannon It might be single resisted, but if the opponent hasn't got the memo, this is a zap cannon. They're about to find out. Magneton is a Gastrodon counter confirmed. Straight in and straight out. It's a Togekiss in the back. The opponent completely bamboozled. We Thundershock farm all the way down. Get that stupid fairy off my screen. And we take that game. Oh my days, even I was not prepared for that single resisted zap cannon picking up a one-hit KO. In the next battle, the tough leads continue. Back-to-back ground types. Once again, we task Ursaring. We're putting in work on the Say Switch. We correctly show up the Scorching Sands, and out comes yet another Murkrow. Where have all these Murkrow come from? Let's see if Noah makes an adjustment, getting off both moves before the CMP tie. We do exactly that. Opting for the double Swift, hopefully meaning the opponent does have to dump energy. Oof, we end up in kind of a worst case scenario. The opponent doesn't throw energy and we don't reach the departing Swift either. Back out comes Magneton. We completely sacrifice it to the Pokegods and it's going to be Armaldo versus the world. Armaldo unable to Fury Cut a farm down before the Drill Peck's reached, and Armaldo now finds himself with no shields to hide behind. We needed Armaldo to be ABA good into the team, but the third happens to be the Steel Penguin, and this one is going to end in heartbreaking defeat. Believe it or not, when you run these absolute crazy shenanigan teams, you are going to get sometimes, or probably more often than not, clapped. Heading into the next battle. Things are looking up as we see a fantastic lead. Noah's actually going to go straight for the Magnet Bomb. That isn't the best timing. Giving away 2 free turns. Oh my days, the opponent showed no respect and near get one shot. Magneton more than happy to absorb the Rock Tomb, which we tanked reasonably well. Well, I say reasonably well, it did over half our health, considering it was resisted, but Magneton essentially needs to shield everything. The opponent then pivots into Shadow Dusclops. We fire off the Magnet Bomb, obtain a shield advantage, and here comes Ursaring. Dusclops opts to fire off the Shadow Punch. Normal doesn't resist much, but it does double resist Ghost. So if Ice Punch to this opponent's second move, that is the move they should be throwing. Right on cue, there is said Ice Punch. Ursaring going to massively overfarm. Fire off the close combat. That is double resisted, but should be removing Dusclops from the field of play. Down goes Dusclops. We're actually doubled up. We've even got a departing Swift that we're going to throw instantly into the returning Cradilly. You see the full undercharge and a very nice one Fury Cutter running start for Armaldo. Is superior in the back. The opponent doesn't want the smoke and they concede the match. Heading into the next battle. Magneton into the cow. Shout out Callum on Toast. If you know, you know. This should be a commanding matchup for us, as everything this cow does learn is going to be resisted. Normally you see Body Slam and either Bolt or Beam. It does actually learn Gyro Ball and Stomp too, but they're also going to be resisted. We tank the Ice Beam, farm up, throw the Magnet Bomb on the charge attack priority, forcing the first Protect Shield of the game. We are going to see Noah match Protect Shields, but the issue for us is using such a glassy Pokemon, we are quite susceptible to being sniped. We actually attempted Body Slam catch onto Armaldo and the catch attempt is unsuccessful. Hopefully Armaldo survives a non-stab Ice Beam. Ouch, it just about survived. Not well, but well enough to get off the Rock Blast, and Rock Blast should be removing the cow from the field of play. Down goes Miltank, and out comes a Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death. We do have a boatload of energy on Magneton, but if we send it out, the opponent could just shield, and the Incinerate that would sneak would knock us out. So instead, we send out Ursaring. The opponent goes straight for their charge move, throwing on alignment, giving us a free Shadow Claw sneak. We shield at the Flame Charge. The opponent pivots out into more Pekka, and we are not baiting. We go straight for the close combat. There's another one-hit KO. The opponent sends back out Talonflame. We bank the Swift, reset our debuff, go for the wham, bam, combo play, send out Magneton. Magnet Bomb, forced to Protect Shield. The question now becomes, is Swift enough to knock out? No! Heartbreakingly, it's not. And this one is going to end in heartbreaking defeat. Shout out Noah. I didn't edit these battles up. That was him that put that message on the screen. And I do appreciate when people take the time and effort to edit their battles up, as I am quite busy with work and other commitments. But returning to the commentary. Led Magneton into Galarian Weezing. The opponent save switched into Furret. We fired off the Magnet Bomb, landing for massive damage before save switching into Armaldo. Armaldo correctly shields up the Trailblaze, gets a massive Fury Cutter farm down, leaving with a bucketload of residual energy good to go. Back out comes Galarian Weezing. We're going to fire off the Rock Blast bait. Both moves do get same type attack bonus, but Liquidation would of course hit objectively harder. Weezing continuing to farm up energy, allowing Armaldo to reach yet another Rock Blast, forcing our Protect Shield back. No, I can't really afford to shield here as the opponent is doubled up on Brutal Swings. Brutal Swing removes us from the field of play. We pivot into Ursaring, baiting out Gastrodon. So we've kind of got the alignment that we want. You can see just how glassy Ursaring is. These Mud Slaps look like they're super effective. Noah shields the Body Slam, goes for one Shadow Claw and the Swift bait. Swift forces the opponent's final Protect Shield here. We are going to throw a suboptimal timing, but that is intentional, meaning this Mud Slap will not register. Close combat removes Gastrodon from the field of play. We pivot into Magneton and look to force the energy. We really need this Brutal Swing to knock us out, or leave with enough health to reach the Magnet Bomb. Neither occur. The opponent able to Fairy Wind farm us down, leaving with yet another Brutal Swing. Very nice energy management from the opponent, and this one does end in heartbreaking defeat. GG's to that opponent. After a couple of tough battles, Noah is looking to bounce back, and we lead Magneton into Big Man Blastoise. Beautiful lead. The opponent throws one rollout, then pivot into Blossom. Interesting running Magical Leaf. I'm a big Blossom believer on the channel, but I think Acid or Bullet Seed are both objectively better. Magical Leaf does apply massive fast move pressure, but does make you slower to charge moves. I think what makes Blossom so good is you're one of the quickest and spammiest Leaf Blade users. If you opt for Bullet Seed, which generates 4.33 EPT, it's only 3 Bullet Seeds per Leaf Blade. If you opt for Acid, despite not getting the same type attack bonus, Acid is a very good quick move, generating 4 energy per turn. Magical Leaf does apply the most fast move pressure, but does only generate 3.33 EPT. That's today's lesson. Out comes Typhlosion. The Swift Bait forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. Ursaring fires off one Shadow Claw and the Close Combat, meaning that Incinerate will not register. Close Combat removes Typhlosion from the field of play. Back out comes Blossom. Blossom leaves with a charge move, but this is going to be resisted damage. Noah recognises a Hydro Cannon will do more, tanks the damage. Big Man Blastoise re-enters the arena, but it's going to be straight in and straight out. We hit hardly any bubbles, but have no doubt Zap Cannon is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we see a commanding lead. Once again, Magneton's electric steel typing means we're going to operate as a complete wall to this energy. The flying type damage is actually double resisted, as both electric and steel do resist flying. Right off the bat, we force and the Zap Cannon does the opponent respect the damage. They do not jump bluff you, sir. Might think you're thick, but Magneton says you aren't thick enough. Out comes Dunsparce. Magneton still not done, with 2 shield high behind, more than content to stay in. Whilst the drill runs are going to be double super effective, the rollouts are resisted, and with 2 shields high behind, Magneton looking pretty good. We fire off the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Noah then farms up, traps the opponent into the CMP tile. They do not win. Magnet Bomb able to land, and Magneton absolutely running rampant in this battle. Finally, the opponent able to remove Magneton from the field of play, but we send out Armaldo. Trainer, you don't get there. You do not get there. The opponent tries to reach a charge move. They're unable to get there. The opponent sends out Gator. It looks like we attempted for our Rock Blast, but ended up over tapping, but that's fine. This game is over. We're going to shoot at the Hydro Cannon. Noah farms up, throws the Rock Blast. Rock Blast lightly forces the opponent's final protection. Does exactly that. Noah then looks to over farm, fire off the Rock Blast. We've now Fury Cutted this Gator into range. A Rock Blast is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Ursaring getting a well-deserved rest on the bench. Heading into the next battle. We see a battle of steel types. In this battle of glass cannons, Magneton actually has the higher attack, meaning we're always going to win charge attack priority. Noah actually opts to take the extra, allowing the opponent to throw first, firing off the Night Slash, thankfully not getting the boost. Believe it or not, these bullet punches are actually double resisted, not that it looks like it, as they're doing crazy damage to us. As I said previously, we're able to win charge attack priority, throw the next Magnet Bomb on CMP, winning CMP, forcing the opponent all shields down. Noah happy with Magneton's contribution. Elects to tank the Night Slash, thankfully, once again, not getting the boost. We send out Ursaring. Ursaring able to Shadow Claw farm down, but at some cost, already finding itself below half health. Trainer, are you serious? The opponent sends out Wallface. If they don't know about the close combat, they're about to find out. Double super effective. Nearly a one-hit KO. We're actually able to snipe down with some Fury Cutters, but out comes Azumarill. Rock Blast, not a particularly good move. We might be in a spot of bother here. The opponent might be able to just fully bubble farm us down. Looks like we're going to need 3 Rock Blast. I'm not entirely sure. I trust in Armaldo to reach 3. No, we're going to invest the Protect Shield. Pray we survive the bubble damage. No, we're getting very close to the double Rock Blast. This next one won't be lethal, and we are going to need to reach 1 more. Rock Blast, able to land. Unfortunately, we get bubble farm down. The opponent leaves with a charge move. Oh, that's brutal, man. Unfortunately, heartbreaking defeat occurs. GG's to that opponent. Despite the loss, that close combat on Bastiodon was hella satisfying. In the next battle, we see Florges in the lead position. This reminds me of the Master League Premier Cup that we've just had, where I was leading Magnezone and all these bloody Florges would stay in. They'd shield the first move and then fire off the Chilling Water to debuff my attack. The difference between Magneton in the Great League and Magneton in the Master League is evident. I could easily survive 2 Chilling Waters when fully maxed out at level 50. The opponent makes a back-breaking catch. Who the heck switches Mantine into an electric type? What a catch from the opponent. Noah, undeterred, instantly sends out the Big Bear, races to that Swift. Swift lands for heavy neutral damage, rocking Mantine deep into the red health range. Noah going to invest the Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming Water Pulse and getting the Shadow Claw farm down afterwards. No, why didn't you throw instantly? The opponent overfarms by 1, end up playing to the CMP tile. They do not win, and Florges loses almost all its remaining health. Florges returns fire with the Chilling Water. Chilling Water isn't quite lethal. They're now 2 off a charge move. We send out Armaldo. Armaldo able to Fury cut a farm down before the opponent reach the next Chilling Water. They send out Cradiddy, recognise they're going to lose the game, and they concede the match. Heading into the next battle. We see a battle of steel types in this matchup. Both Pokemon fully wall each other's movesets. Magneton hella glassy but should be able to survive any one move. The opponent very rudely sprays to their face, but trainer, the thing is, we use an attack weighted Pokemon like Magneton and type of effectiveness can be thrown out the window. We force in the Zap Cannon, a very clean 1-hit KO. Out comes Gastrodon. We see the immediate save switch into Ursaring. Ursaring instantly going to put up that Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming Body Slam. Body Slam doesn't get the same type of attack bonus, but Ursaring hella glassy. That probably would have knocked us out. The opponent then pivots into Charizard. Interesting running Fire Spin. We fire off the Swift. Swift forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Here we're going to throw the Close Combat and look to minimise the farm. Close Combat forces the opponent all shields down. Noah sends back out Magneton and looks to force some energy. Charizard obliges. Do they full send the Blast Burn? Yes, they do. Blast Burn, a massive 1-hit KO, probably killing that Magneton, every Magneton that's ever entered the Go Battle League. Out comes Armaldo. Armaldo races the Rock Blast. Rock Blast, double super effective, removing Charizard from the field of play. Back out comes Gastrodon. The opponent going to go for the Body Slam bait, but trainer, no bait, will be saving your fate. We Fury Cutter him into a range where Liquidation is going to be all she wrote, with Noah emerging victorious. GG's. Heading into the next battle, we lead Shadow Magneton. Oh my god, into Camerupt. Abort, abort. Armaldo, go quickly. We say switch into Armaldo, baiting out the Quagman. Noah not messing around, going straight for the Liquidation. Liquidation! Ugh, go shielded. Is Noah going to look to fight for switch advantage? Yes, he is. He's going to invest the Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming Aqua Tail. Look at this Fury Cutter damage, man. Quagsire is already below half health. Noah fires off yet another Liquidation. And just like that, we're able to take back switch. Out comes Camerupt. We bank some energy, transfer the Incinerate onto Ursaring. The opponent continued to stay in, farming up a boatload of energy. We take the initiative, fire off the Swift. Swift forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. How do we play this? This is dicey. What are you doing? The opponent still doesn't throw a charge move. The opponent's at well over 100 energy, but we're not complaining. Rock Blast moves Camerupt from the field of play, and out comes Scizor. Despite us seeing one of the worst leads we possibly could, we've got a shield type on, and this battle of steel types, this game is over. We're going to shield up the Night Slash. We all know how this one's going to end, including our opponent who doesn't want the smoke, and they concede the match. In the next battle, Magneton stares down Gator. The opponent says no thank you, say switch into Superior. I think here we just stay in, to be honest. We can just align Ursaring into that Gator later, where the quick move of Shadow Claw will be non-stab and double resisted. Alternatively, we could tank a move and then send out Armaldo. Oh my god, that Frenzy Plant didn't look all that resistant. It looks like we won't even reach another move. We do send out Armaldo and able to get a very nice Fury Cutter farm down and a very nice running start on energy. Gator re-enters the arena. Gator going to be greeted with the Rock Blast. Rock Blast won't be lethal, but will put the opponent low. The opponent actually invests the Protect Shield, and the more shields that they use, the better this matchup gets for us, as we're eventually going to Fury Cutter him into range where Rock Blast will be moving Gator from the field of play. Noah matches Protect Shields, fires off yet another Rock Blast. Rock Blast forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. We then farm up, make a back-breaking catch back onto Magneton. What a catch that is. Hydro Cannon, of course, removes us from the field of play, as we had like 1 HP in a dream. We now send out Ursaring. Ursaring will be looking for the 1 shield, full Shadow Claw farm down, and it's time to go NUKED. How I'd love it to be something like a Bastion on the back. What is that third? It's not a Bastion, but it's certainly something that's going to get one shot by a close combat. Hi, Morpeko. Bye, Morpeko. Remove yourself from my screen. Gator re-enters the arena, and the opponent's going to concede the match. What a boom that was. Heading into the next battle. Magneton into Corviknight. Despite our typing, that actually isn't the best matchup. Trust me. I've used Magneton into Corviknight, and that one turn, a double super effective sand attack deletes you in the blink of an eye. The opponent pivots into Marowak, and here comes Armaldo. The opponent actually full center Rock Slide, a bit unnecessary, but does cost more energy. We return fire with the Rock Blast bait. We're now at the liquidation. The opponent's now got a decision to make. Are they going to go all in on Marowak? Yes, they are. We're able to force both Protect Shields here in the mid-game matchup. We send out Ursaring, the opponent banks a Bone Club, and then send out Moltres. I would like to see us bank the energy, but let's see what Noah's cooking up. Close combat, massive damage, quick switch into Magneton, and Magneton able to snipe down Moltres' remaining HP. Back out comes Marowak. Interestingly here, we don't throw, and the idea behind this play is we want to get some energy together with Ursaring. We're going to need to reach double CC against Corviknight. Oh boy, this is going to get dicey. I don't think we get there. Ursaring rapidly running out of HP, going to invest in Protect Shield, blocking up the Air Cutter. I think we're one short of the double right. One close combat. It certainly won't be lethal, but does a close combat into a Swift get the job done? Holy crap. I think the answer is yes. Noah somehow able to see the win con that I didn't see, and we take that game. Very, very well played. Heading into the next battle, we see Magneton into Golurk. Oh boy. Ursaring say switch. The opponent stays in. Trainer, why are you staying in? The opponent takes a whole heap of Shadow Claw damage, which certainly makes that Golurk less threatening in the endgame. Out comes Ludicolo. We YOLO the close combat, monstrous damage, putting the opponent deep into the red health. Magneton re-enters the arena, able to Thundershock farm down. Not quite a charge move yet. Back out comes Golurk. We are actually going to invest to Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming Shadow Punch and undertap this Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb likely forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Who doesn't love to shield Golurk? And then we see the save switch into Armaldo. Armaldo actually able to Fury Cut a snipe before the next Shadow Punch is reached, and out comes Skeledirge. We're going for the Rock Blast bait. If the opponent call this, I think it's GG's, but the opponent craps their pants, putting up that Protect Shield, able to outpace to the liquidation. And what did we learn in this battle? It's going to be Glass Cannons 1, Fast Move Pressure 0. You heard it here first. Heading into the next battle. Lead Shadow Magneton into a load of Ninetales. A beautiful lead, regardless of the quick move. This opponent opting for Charm. Noah fires off 7 Thunder Shocks and the Magnet Bomb for optimal fast move timing, only giving the opponent 1 free turns. Using a 2-turn move like Thunder Shock into a 3-turn move like Charm, you want to throw 1 quick move, 4 or 7. Noah saves Magneton, thinking the opponent's likely weak somewhere else. They're staying in such a bad matchup. Who even knows with Charmers? They essentially just try and shield their way through matchups and align themselves correctly in the back. We shield at the Weather Ball, return fire with the Swift. Swift removes Ninetales from the field of play. The opponent then sends out Marowak. Ursaring farms up Noah, tries to throw on CMP, winning CMP, and we are full send in the close combat. Close combat isn't quite a one-hit KO, but does the majority of Marowak's health, and they've also dumped their energy. This is like best case scenario. We send out Armaldo. Trainer, you're just getting farmed down. The opponent conceded a massive farm down, and it becomes apparent why. As out comes Typhlosion. This game is over. I think I'd go straight liquidation in the 1 shield. But Rock Blast inevitably forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. We reached the liquidation, have no doubt. Liquidation is going to be all she wrote, with Armaldo claiming yet another one-hit KO as we take that game. And much to my disappointment, that is just about going to wrap things up for today's Shoutcast. A huge thank you to Noah for showcasing this triple Shadow, triple Glass Cannon team. That was absolutely incredible. Very well played. Much to my disappointment, today is going to be my first of 4 consecutive night shifts, which means making content might be somewhat problematic. However, I'm going to try and shoutcast some battles. If you run a very fun, glassy team like this, get your battle submissions in. The spicier the better, and I'll look to do some shoutcasts before I head to work. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, my battle submission form is linked down below. And as always, a huge thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.